Whatever.
What's up? What's happening?
Welcome back to an all-new episode of DMT Reviews with me, Sam Butler. And who are you?
I'm a guy named Zach Burkertson.
Burkitson?
Burkertson, yeah.
Oh, okay. No doubt.
New identity this week.
Yeah, so Jack Anderson has been kidnapped, skinned, and replaced by a Skinwalker
Zach
named...
Burkinson.
I think we already did the Skinwalker joke like this before.
Did we really?
On the podcast.
Who would have known?
I think you did some other name like that.
Oh, maybe I just am a Skinwalker doing my thing, living my life. And yeah, I keep being this guy, but this isn't me.
Oh,
you
is
know?
it?
I don't know at this point. It's I keep picking this form so much. I mean, it might as well be. So
Oh, so your form is that of an asshole.
a little bit.
Oh, okay.
Give me a break.
But anyways, DMT Reviews now in Spectravision, in color,
Yeah, it's
on
very
the
exciting.
YouTubes.
Very exciting.
Find us all on DMT Studios on YouTube.
It's all very exciting.
And get into it, because we're going to be reviewing, and we're going to be podcasting, and we're going to do more stuff probably eventually, maybe.
It's true. It's true. There's a lot of
So-
great content out there, and you guys need somebody to be talking about that content, okay? And that's us.
That hot
That's
cunt.
us. Yeah,
That haunt.
that haunt. Yes.
That haunt.
Yes, indeed. So,
Indeed.
what are we talking about today, Sam?
Well, today we're talking about Judas and the Black Messiah.
what a movie.
What a movie,
Mhm.
indeed.
The what I'll call the early February HBO movie. I feel
Yeah,
like these
exactly.
all are going to fall into that category.
Sort of, because The Little Things was the end of January.
January, the middle
And that
of
took
February.
over for Wonder Woman, and then Judas came out right after that.
And now we got Tom and Jerry, which I don't think I'll ever watch.
I'm good.
Yeah, I
I'm-
like Tom and Jerry, the old cartoon, and I think it needs to stay that way.
I would like to see it for the comedic supporting cast,
Sure.
because they got people like Rob Delaney in there.
Mm.
And I bet you, I will actually bet you $20 that Keegan-Michael Key is in it.
Oh yeah.
I don't even have to look at the cast list.
That would
It
make
is
sense.
exactly the kind of number they would call him for.
Did you hear that one of the days while it was streaming for like an hour or two, that was Justice League and not Tom and Jerry for a minute, and like millions of people watched it.
All of
and-
Justice
And
League?
then it like only an hour or two of the movie, and then they cut it off and started Tom and Jerry because somebody fucked up and like put it in the wrong data file or something.
This is the funny part about everything being released online, is that something catastrophic can go wrong from one
Oh.
guy's little fuck up.
Listen, I'll tell you, I remember the Conor McGregor UFC fight. ESPN Plus crashed for maybe 10 minutes,
Oh.
but like during a fight, and I was losing it, man.
Right.
The internet exploded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, this doesn't count for our Comcast difficulties last week,
True.
but people have crashed Disney Plus multiple times flooding to watch Mandalorian or WandaVision.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I mean, great shows.
Because
you
I
guys got
just
good
saw
taste.
I just saw Paul Bettany on Conan, and he was talking about it, and he's just like, it's great to have a show that crashes the platform that it's on, or something like that,
Sounds very Paul Bettany-ish.
I request elaboration.
Nice. I love it.
And
I'm not amused.
we got some more P-bets in the studio.
Altron. We love P-Bats in this
But-
in this studio.
What we're talking about today is,
The Black Panther.
or at least the Black Panther Party.
Yes, indeed. Oh my gosh, I learned so much. I, obviously you know about the Black Panthers. They are a, radical political group during the civil rights movement. Some people think that they represent true freedom and liberty, and some people think they are absolutely evil monsters trying to destroy society and all that's around us.
And some people are J. Edgar Hoover, who are just power-hungry, racist, fucking fascists.
This
So-
is true. And all of these people exist. I like to stand in the party of, if people are doing this, there's probably a reason and whatnot. And what was great about this movie was it really dove into the members of the Black Panther Party in that specific story and whatnot. And we got to see a very, dimensional type of protagonist in both the main character, Bill, what's his last name? I can't remember.
Davis.
Bill Davis, and the main, leader of the Illinois Black Panther Party,
The Black Panther.
Fred Hampton.
Exactly.
He is in, the actor is in Black Panther.
The majority of this cast was in Get Out.
Yep.
Because you got Daniel Kaluuya, you got Lakeith Stanfield, even Lil Rel is in it, you know?
Yep, that's true. I forgot Lil Rel.
You got a lot of cast from Get Out.
Yeah.
Pretty much all the black people in Get Out were in this.
Well, and did you say that this film was written by the Lucas brothers?
Yeah, so the story behind it is the director, Shaka King, Lucas brothers, Kenny and Keith Lucas, comedians. Everybody knows them most from 22 Jump Street and, of course, their comedy, which I just got to get into the gushiness of it, that my dad put me on to the Lucas brothers of all people because they have a sketch on this show that they had. I can't remember what it was called, like Friend of the People or something like that. And it's them doing a news show, and it's very fucking funny.
Oh, I love that.
But then there's stand-up, too. My dad and I went to go see Mike Birbiglia. They were the surprise openers. So that was awesome.
I mean, that's a big opener, yeah.
In their stand-up, they talk about Fred Hampton. They talk about this shit. They are very passionate. That's part of, one of their emphases in law schools was studying this stuff and really, really understanding the history behind Fred Hampton and the FBI and all that shit. And so they approached Shaka King, and they're like, we got an idea for a movie. It's about Bill Davis and Fred Hampton, and it's like The Departed, but about the Black Panther Party and the FBI. And so they really just were like the story credit.
Right.
They came up with the idea and helped the writers flesh it out, and here we are. But it's like they got an award for it, Writers Guild Award, I think, recently. I mean, it took off, and I'm just like, Kenny and Keith Lucas. Wow.
What do you know?
What do you know?
Just sneaking in there with some real groundbreaking content. You know what I mean? Again, this is one of those movies that while you watch it, you enjoy it, you have a good time, but it also makes you think. It also, puts you into that world, that reality. And that was something I remember, like, Straight Outta Compton's another example where, like, it's a world I didn't really know before I saw the movie. And just, thank God people are making these movies and different stories and stuff like that, because you accumulate understanding and knowledge rather than just whatever, paragraph you read in a textbook.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, Black Klansman was a great movie, but these movies are important because they're black stories, but they're not for black people. They're for white people.
Yeah.
So that we can actually fucking have it be in mainstream media. Hey, this fucked up historical thing happened, and you guys were robbed of being told about it.
Right.
So there's no wonder why you guys are like, there's no white privilege, because you don't know the examples of where this shit went fucked up.
Oh, and I just love it.
And the way it was presented was like the FBI was in the right.
Right.
100%.
Yeah.
Like
totally.
they were heroes.
I mean, yeah, you think about the civil rights movement, and you think about how how high the tensions were, because this movie takes place in the 70s, right? So we're post Martin Luther King getting killed, we're post Malcolm X dying. So yeah, okay, that makes sense. I mean, yeah, extremely heated times, extremely built up, and of course, when you're a person in any sort of circumstance, and you're just again, this is a time where, like, social media doesn't exist, the internet doesn't exist whatsoever. All you're getting is your newspaper feed and whatever you're catching on the 3 channels on TV, right? So the narrative can get formed and shaped in any which way, and of course, it's such a complex situation. Again, going back to what I was saying at the beginning, what this movie showed me for sure is that, again, circumstance is everything. And and what I really loved, and we'll kind of go through the movie, beat by beat and whatever, but like one of my favorite aspects of it was the journey that Fred Hampton goes on relatively quickly too, because he is this very stoic, radical, civil rights, leader, but also very much on the Black Panther Party side of it. You know what I mean? Which wasn't just, equal rights. It was, in his world, in his reality, let's bring down the government and do something better. You know what I mean? Like, let's build that revolution. Let's get people moving. Let's get people going. And he does, he goes to, I forget what was the like rednecks that he goes and turns, and the Puerto Ricans.
I can't remember, but that's what I was about to say was Fred Hampton was uniting more than just black people.
Exactly.
He was getting poor white people and Puerto Ricans and all this shit. And so, yeah, in the eyes of the fascist FBI, they were like, this is a problem.
Right.
They're trying to unite people who are different colors, and that's a problem.
Yeah, we don't. That's not how this country works. And also Martin Sheen. What a performance!
I know. He looked exactly like Robert Duvall.
I know, and he sounded just like Martin Sheen. It was so confusing. The whole movie.
It was so fucking funny because I was looking at him and I'm just like, wait,
I think I know who this is, but I'm wrong.
It's not Robert Duvall. That
No.
is 100% Martin Sheen, but with the Duvall face.
Who knows? Maybe they're related in some way.
Yeah.
But that was the thing, he starts building this movement, building this momentum, gets arrested, gets arrested in a real bullshit way and all that, learns some stuff in prison, comes back, has a baby, is going to be a father, and he starts to reflect on these things and kind of change his perspective and whatnot, not losing, and really the scene where it kind of caps and builds that I really enjoyed was where, Bill wants to go blow up the Capitol or whatever,
Mhm.
and Fred Hampton's like, no.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's trying to get him. He's like doing a desperate ploy to get him on wire,
Yep.
planning terrorist attacks.
And I say all this, and then Fred Hampton goes back and he's like, we're going to take this money that we got, and instead of like, arming ourselves or whatever, we're going to put this towards a clinic for our community and whatnot, because when people think of this party, they're going to think about healing. And of course, that night he gets killed and whatever,
Mhm.
like it's maybe the most frustrating aspect of people, and also understandable why we are this way, but we just have we like to think that everybody can change and that we can do blah blah blah, but we don't want to be patient and wait for that to
No.
happen. We don't want that because it takes a while.
Instant gratification.
That's right. And like Fred Hampton would have never changed his mindset like that if he were told to do so. But the fact that he saw the ramifications of his actions and started to kind of rethink what he wanted his place in the world to be, he grew and improved and evolved as a person. You know what I
Right.
mean? As a leader, as a, thoughtful individual. He's already well spoken and super thoughtful and smart and definitely passionate. I mean, there's no doubt about that. And he was a leader, but
And he was 21.
he was 21. Yeah. I mean,
Which, when they threw that stat up at the end or in the, end titles, whatever you want to call this, I don't even know what to call that
Yeah.
when movies do that. But
the recap or whatever.
yeah.
The historical recap.
yeah, and it's like, what happened next or
Mhm.
whatever. Where are they now?
Right.
But it said that he was 21, and then I was just like, really? Then why'd they pick Daniel Kaluuya to play him? And then they showed a picture of him. I'm like, no, that was kind of, he looked like an old 21-year-old.
Yeah. Well, think about that. Think about him being 21 and, like, again, starting to have these revelations and these changes. Imagine where he would have been if he was 30, 32. You know what I mean?
Imagine where any of these people would be.
Exactly. If, quote unquote, fate hadn't intervened, blah, blah, blah. It is very avoidable. One of the scenes is where J. Edgar Hoover basically is like, prison's a temporary solution.
Which that, like, I had to go take a lap for a second.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's.
Because it's just the fact of the matter is, the more I've learned about J. Edgar Hoover, the more I'm like, God damn it. You fucking. Everything at the start of the FBI, justifiable.
Right.
To stop the mob and the Prohibition era stuff and all that, Al Capone and shit. But then from then on, he just power tripped his dick all over the place. Like, recorded everybody. He had, like, there's the conspiracy theory that he orchestrated Marilyn Monroe's death because she was fucking JFK, and he had a tape on it or something like that.
Right.
And they're like, well, we can't have this blonde bitch ruining our president.
Yep.
He's too squeaky clean.
Yep.
And then cut to his head exploding
Yeah.
immediately square, But
And I think that's a good point to make too, because like I'm sure J. Edgar Hoover was a very racist person, but I mean that's a good thing to bring up because like his motivation was even beyond race and whatnot. It's that power, that control, that just like oh, I got to be the guy that brings everybody down, whether they're
I'm
right or
pretty
not.
sure he was what inspired George Orwell to write 1984, because that's what he would like to be as Big
Yeah.
Brother.
Yeah, just watching.
Over everything, just
Mhm.
fucking everywhere. And also, to J. Edgar Hoover's credit, he had Leonardo DiCaprio play him in a movie that was so fucking dull and boring that I was just like, wow, Clint Eastwood, I hope you're not going down the drain, buddy. Because that was a terrible movie.
Yeah,
I couldn't get past the first third because I'm just like, are we going to watch him just take every fucking breath, shit, and meal? Like, what is going on?
Hey, sometimes art is its own thing, bro.
Yeah. And J. Edgar Hoover, he fucking got beef with Charlie Chaplin.
Yeah,
Charlie Chaplin,
the founder of comedy, really, in a lot
of like
ways.
cinematic comedy,
yeah,
at
cinematic
least.
comedy.
And like he was. I mean, I don't know because I really only know the little bit of the story that they portrayed in the Chaplin movie with Kevin Dunn playing
Oh, nice.
J. Edgar Hoover.
Oh God.
And,
isn't it RDJ?
RDJ's
yeah.
Chaplin. And that scene, Hoover's like, oh, there is no more powerful or influential piece of media than the film. And I think you have to be responsible with what you decide to do on film. And then Chaplin, I can't remember what he says, but he just kind of takes the piss out of him. And then it's just right there. And then it cuts to, because it's Chaplin being interviewed in the future by somebody, and it cuts to the interview. And it's he's like, so that was the day you made enemies with Hoover, huh? And he's like, yeah, and then we'll see how that played out. And then how it played out was, Charlie, like so many great artists, was a fucking perv for younger women. And he married Una Chaplin, who was like 16, and Hoover caught wind of it. And he's like, all right, either you're, and Chaplin was going on a voyage to Europe or something. So he was on the boat, and in the movie, he got the news on the boat that it's like, if you come back to America, they're arresting you.
Jeez.
So he fucking exiled Charlie Chaplin for making a joke. Ugh. This is the man we're dealing with going into controlling this entire fucking Black Panther Party war.
That's right.
That he ignited. He stoked the flames the whole time.
Yep.
Fucking piece of shit.
Oh yeah, you can come back to J. Edgar Hoover for a lot of problems. A lot of problems in the most of the 20th century.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
Well, let's not forget who is orchestrating J. Edgar Hoover's plans. One of our faves.
The Plebs.
The Plebs. The Plebs
J.
is in this movie.
Plebs.
I love it.
We got the Plebs.
The Plebs. Playing a FBI agent, if I'm correct. Yes?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I can't remember what his name was because it's been a couple weeks since I watched the movie.
Right.
But it's like, man, Jesse Plemons is just getting all the roles.
Yeah. And
Fat Damon.
Yeah. And I think he is the perfect person for that role because that character is so difficult because his priority had to come first and foremost to the FBI.
And the thing is that about his character's arc was his was probably like we're gonna talk about more about Bill Davis, but like his internal struggle was not nearly as bad as Jesse's internal struggle.
No,
because he kept trying to believe the bullshit that he's been feeding,
right,
or being fed, and then trying to feed it down the line to Bill, and then he's just sort of like,
yeah.
Like,
well, and can you imagine? Because like I don't think Jesse Plemons' character is racist. Like he's definitely like he's a person trying to get on board with the civil rights movement, and just grow his country and improve and whatnot. But you got to think about how strange those times must have been because you're only maybe half a decade from. Oh, actually, you're currently living in a reality where your bosses are being openly racist in such a camaraderie way that if you're not, then they're like, oh well, it's that other mentality.
Yeah, and then to that point, he's a little bit of an outcast among them because they keep going over his head and behind his back with their own operations to an attitude. Then like anytime they tell him, it's with an attitude of just like, oh yeah, we're gonna take him down. What are they gonna do? Oh yeah, we already knew about that guy fucking burning, or the guy who said was an informant. He's our informant. Fucking,
yeah, right, exactly. And it's strange because what do you do in that situation? Because like I don't know how I would handle it, but you're doing your job, which your job is to uphold the law, but it's like so clearly immoral and whatnot.
And then also it's like when Hoover called him into the office for that one chat, you know what I'm talking about. It was still with that other fucking guy.
Right.
And that dude had a shit-eating grin the whole fucking time. And the attitude was them being like, all right, you like those black people too much. Like, how much can we trust you?
Exactly.
Right? That's why we've been going over your head and behind your back, because you like them too much, man.
Right.
And it's like, hey, it's so fucking frustrating. You walk out of any of these fucking movies and you're just like, oh, I fucking hate my people. I hate my culture.
Yeah, we definitely... we've dropped the baton many times and still thought we won the race. But it's interesting, too, because you think about how he's got to interact with Bill, because for him with Bill. He's got to make Bill still do the job.
Well,
you
and
know?
it seemed like kind of a fucking paternal little relationship.
Well, and that's what he says in the interviews, Bill, in the the 90s.
Yeah, he said it was a father figure.
He is very much like a father figure to me. I wanted to live up to whatever he was telling me to do and stuff.
Exactly.
So it's just, it's crazy. Let's talk about Bill. Huh?
Let's talk about Bill. Bill. Lakeith Stanfield. All right. I really liked his performance.
I didn't. I'm just kidding. He was great. He was
I
super great.
didn't. I thought he ate shit. No, he was fantastic. I mean, he's been fantastic in just about every fucking movie I've seen him in, and in Atlanta. But his character, the thing that immediately jumps out about him is like he is a survivor. He is a scrappy dog. He doesn't identify with a group because he's on his own. So he's
too
like,
busy
I
trying
don't
to
give
take
a
care of
shit.
himself, yeah.
I don't give a shit about the cause. He's paying me money. I'll sell him out. I don't know who these fucking guys are.
Right.
I don't care. And doesn't understand the nuance to it.
Situation.
Be bigger than yourself, man.
Yeah. Little word of wisdom.
But he starts out trying to steal the guy's car with a fake badge, and that was
that was an intense scene.
It was.
Yeah.
Because I was like, oh, he is an FBI agent?
A killer one shot, too.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. And still, he manages to get pinched. He gets picked up by Jessie Plebs. And I want to talk about the scenes they had in the interrogation room.
Sure.
Because, and this is really inside baseball director stuff with how you make movies. And it's something called the Ilite. What that is, and you can go ahead and look it up every fucking movie, but they make it a point to have eye light. So the reflection of the light in your eyes, you can see it in my eyes from wherever the light's hitting it, but that is something that it's familiar. And so in that scene, I can, I guess, reference only one other scene that they've ever done it to take away the eye light from somebody was in The Thing. And it was in the scene where they're touching the hot coil to the blood to see who is the thing. And the one who is the thing, you could see the shadow cascading over his eyes. You can't see the light, so it makes him look inhuman. It makes him look evil.
Right.
So in that scene with Bill and the Plebs, Plemons' eyes, you cannot see the light. He is fucking Satan cornering somebody trying to sell him, buy his soul. I was watching that, I'm like, whoa!
Let's go Shaka King.
Yeah,
coming in with some clutch.
That is some directing, man.
Yep.
F&A, Cotton.
F&A.
And so I was pretty fucking stoked with how that was, because it was literally that the devil is coming to him and bargaining for his soul, and it was just such a fucking cool scene because he's Judas.
Yep.
They had to have that theme.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. And I think too, speaking to him being a survivor and having to make these decisions and then kind of getting caught up in the cause. I like how they never really went to the point where he was 100% there. In fact, most of his story is just being afraid of getting caught.
Yeah.
Which you can't even imagine.
I mean, the siege outside the Black Panther headquarters.
Oh my God. Yeah.
That whole him trying to finesse it so that he can escape.
Yep. And that dream he had, I'm not a fucking rat. I'm not a fucking rat. Pow! Shit's happening. That's real. And what else can he do? He's either got to do that or go to jail. You think about that. What's he going to do? Go on the run? Oh, nope. Jessie Plemons is going to find him. It makes sense. Where's he going to go? It's like.
And then he just hears about these fucking guys torturing somebody for being a rat who wasn't a rat by dumping boiling water on his dick and, burning him and all this shit. And you're just like,
what do I do? Because there's no way.
I think I could try and get another job.
I just like how the FBI planning a rat in there. That rat ends up doing a lot of really good stuff for the Black Panthers.
Right.
He rebuilds their entire facility. He drives them around. He protects them. He does a lot of good things for them. He's very helpful.
And it's hilarious because he's not bought in.
Nope, not at all.
He's just this is just going to help me look better so they don't discover me.
Jessie Plemons is go help them as much as you can so that we can arrest them.
The more work I do for the black community, the less they'll think that I'm a rat.
Exactly. The
more I help people out.
And that's where I found, I guess, I don't know, the ending. Finding out that person who went through this experience So the movie starts with getting the interview set up for some sort of PBS documentary that they made about this story back in the 90s. And he starts talking about it. They kind of cut to that interview a couple times throughout the movie, and then it ends with him recapping the story. Or oh wait, it's the actor doing it through the most of the movie, and then at the end it's the actual
It's the
interview.
actual
That's what it
interview,
was.
yeah.
Yep. And so he does the same. He talks, he does his thing, and then it shows that that documentary aired, and then that same day that guy killed himself.
Yeah, and that was the funny thing because while we were watching it, I was over at Tanner's and I turned to him. I'm just like, "How do you not kill yourself?"
Yeah.
After hearing about this, and then right then it flashed up, and that's when it aired, and he killed himself. I'm like, "Oh, there you have it." Because once you understand the full scope and gravity of what you did, because I can understand him during that interview, he still didn't understand the full
Right.
scope. He's just like, "I just did my thing."
Yeah, the storytelling is very important because it is what, again, this is why we need all sides of the story. This is why we need to, talk about things and stuff rather than just react to them and whatnot, because he saw in that moment, oh, maybe I was on the wrong side. You know what I mean? But again, going back to what we were just talking about, what other choice did he have? You know what I mean? What else could he have done?
Unfortunate circumstances.
Yep, he got to be free, and then end his life early because he couldn't handle what he had to do to be free. I mean, it's poignant, man.
Yeah.
It's poignant and it's real. That's the other piece of it that was very impactful. Is it was all real. It all happened, and it's like, oh fuck.
He's like, "Whoa."
Yeah.
And I mean, the raid, dude.
Oh yeah.
No knock raid.
hmm
I mean, couldn't be more poignant. That's
Yeah.
the kind of shit. And you just get so fucking frustrated. You're just like, genuinely, how can people do this to each other?
Right. I think we're working through it though, because
Looks like this one's gonna make it. Bang, bang.
Yep. And movies didn't really used to be like this. You know what I mean? I think it's encouraging because we're starting to make movies like this, and people are paying attention and resonating with them and whatnot. And I think, as shitty as it has been through the process of getting there, I do think we're on the right path. And of course, we're gonna have speed bumps and whatnot. But the fact that people can watch this and give it awards and whatnot. Imagine if this movie was made 20 years ago. People might have been outraged by it. Who knows? Who knows? It's a weird world. It's ever flowing and ever changing. And I'm just encouraged that at least I know this story, and at least we all can start to have these conversations and reference points to like actually get to the heart of our problems rather than just keep picking the side that was told to you.
And I was sort of thinking about it too, that I'm like, the tone deaf people are going to be like, "Oh, another one of these movies."
Yeah.
It's like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Another thing happened."
Yeah. It's tricky. It's people don't like being told what to do. I
No.
keep coming back to that. That's
Hey, wear a mask.
nah, bro. It itches my face.
Hey, wear a mask
Nah.
for other people.
I like spitting. I like not being I like being able to breathe, bro.
Hey, give me your guns.
Excuse me. Those are mine. Okay? Those are mine. You cannot take those.
Hey, abort your baby.
We might have to. Anyway. Oops.
But yeah, it was a really powerful movie, and I just really genuinely enjoyed the whole pace, the whole scope of the story. It was just so well paced, well told. And I mean, like, we basically summarized it in less than a half an hour, and we didn't even really go like, so this happened and this happened and this
Right.
happened, because it wasn't really about the events that happened.
Yeah.
It was about the overarching impact.
Yeah. It's not about the plot. It's about the story. It's about what happened here, and what do we learn from it? What do we take from this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because we clearly have an emotional reaction to this. You know what I mean? It's very clearly something that even the people that say, it's another one of those movies, fuck it, they're having a very obvious emotional reaction to it. And if that's happening to you, address it, or it's gonna have power over you for the rest of your life. You may not feel that way, but it's just true.
Yeah, it's like, oh, sorry that the story about the African American struggle in American history is making you feel bummed.
Yeah. Why does it make you feel that way?
Throws up everywhere in
Yep.
frustration.
Yep. But hey, we're moving.
I'm not amused.
Moving in the right direction.
Moving
bro.
in the right direction.
I mean,
AFAF, dog.
AFAF.
Always forward as fuck.
That's right. That's right.
DMT slogan.
Yeah,
I think I'm pretty good on this though.
I feel satisfied.
Check it out.
Definitely.
Don't forget your history
Yeah.
and be kinder to people.
Daniel, what's his last
Kaluuya.
name? Kaluuya won I believe, a Golden Globe for Best Supporting Actor.
Pretty
for this.
sure.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's genuinely one of the better actors.
All
I've
the
seen.
performances were awesome.
Yeah, I mean it's 100%.
It's just great.
Yep. 10 out of 10.
Yes, indeed.
Indeed.
DMT stamp of approval. So like, rate, subscribe, and check it out. Keep tuning into DMT Reviews and tune into DMT. Buddy, we're on video.
Yeah, we're moving forward, bro.
Yep.
We got the colored buttons. We got the cameras.
We got that perp on.
we got that perp on, bro. That's what it's all about.
So, and email us at dmtpcast@gmail.com if you want us to review anything else. Otherwise, take it sleazy.
Love you guys.
What's up? What's happening? The uniform.
It's all very exciting.
The uniform.
It's all very exciting.
Give me a break!